Bodine 52, how are you, folks? I am out on Duke, my 2000 Road King Classic, on a beautiful day. It may or may not be past working time, but that doesn't matter. What I want to talk to you about today is, have you ever been in a motorcycle accident? Or if you got in a motorcycle accident, do you think you could get back on the horse and ride again? You think you'd be done? If you're on with your significant other and she or he was involved in the accident, you think they'd be done? Let me share a couple stories. So I was talking to this guy yesterday, and we got on the conversations of motorcycles. And he mentioned that he no longer rides. And look at what you'd be missing when you don't ride. That is beautiful. And I talked a little bit to him about, hey, what happened? Glad you're okay, all that stuff. I got the details of the accident. And he was just like, I just can't get myself to get another bike. His bike was totaled. And, some scrapes. It was low speed, so it wasn't life-threatening, but it screwed him up. And I guess I can kind of get that. I mean, it's like when you were a kid, back in the old days, because I'm old, so I can say that. You went out and played. It was the summer or the weekends, you left the house in the morning after breakfast, and you came back before it was dark. And if you came back and you scraped your knee because you fell off the bike, Mom or Dad's going to get back out there, and they're going to make sure you get back on that bike, right? And so as I was talking to this guy, I'm like, man, I don't know how he feels. You blame anybody for not getting back on? Now, I think I would get back on, but he's just like, dude, I just can't do it, man. I know it's ridiculous. I know it's in my head. I know I got to get back on the horse. He goes, but I just cannot do it. And I'm like, wow. He's like, and then I got my wife. I'm like, oh, no, she was on with you? He's like, no, it's just me. But now there's no way she's ever going to let me ride. She never rode with me, but now it's not happening. I'm just telling you. And I was just kind of like, yeah, give it time, and maybe you'll come back, maybe you won't. I kind of get it. You never know where a person's head's at, and I've been fortunate. I will tell you, I've dropped my bike with Mrs. Bodine on it when I first started riding again years ago. It's in a parking lot, so it was just a tip over. And I was close in an accident one day that was my fault, right? Just taking something wide. But I think about it as like, okay, if I was in a bad accident, would I get on again? I mean, I got on the bike when I was a kid. My knees all scraped up and crap. But I don't know if I could do that. Now, if you follow my channel, I did an interview, a couple months ago with a friend of the channel and somebody I consider a friend now, Ty from Tennessee. And I'll link that interview I did with him as well as his channel so you can check that out. But him and his wife were in an accident where somebody hit them when they were turning at a red light. And they're both lucky they're alive, right? So now Ty has bought a new bike after some time. His bride at this point is not getting back on the bike, and that's fine. And she may over time, because I get it. I remember in this interview her talking about, it took me a few minutes to realize I was rolling around, and I looked over and my husband was laying in the center of the intersection off the bike, right? No helmet. His helmet fell off. He was wearing a helmet. He's got a great story about his helmets there, by the way. And so I get it. And I guess I'm just kind of thinking as this guy was telling me the story, I'm like, wow, there's multiple people I've talked to. I'm like, I wonder what the percentage of people that are in some sort of accident get back on the bike or basically say, I'm done. I'm not doing it again. Or maybe it's somebody that just says, hey, I'm going to take some time off, and maybe I'll get back on. I don't know. I can tell you, talking for Mrs. Bodine, when I started riding again, and she did not ride. Come on, folk. And she did not ride, and I started to get her riding. I'm convinced that if we were in some sort of accident, she would never get on the bike again, no doubt. And I wouldn't obviously press her for that, and God forbid that ever happens. Knock on tank. So, hey guys. But I was just curious. One, have you ever been in an accident? If you were, was it a serious one, kind of a tip over? Was it, something that screwed you up? Did you have, did you get back on the bike? Did you take some time off? I just wonder that. And I was talking to Jackie Boy. And Jackie Boy's a friend, lives out in Pennsylvania. And, when I did that interview with Ty and his wife, he sent me a note and he's like, hey, dude, I'm sure it's a great interview, but I just can't watch it. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, what's wrong, dude? And he's like, I just can't think about getting in an accident. I just don't think that way. And I'm like, I get it. I don't think that way either. But it was interesting, just his mindset of, no, I'm not doing it. I don't think of an accident, right? He's been riding forever, right? I know he showed some pictures on Instagram of when he was younger and motocross and jumping hills and stuff that I thought was really cool. But he's like, nah, I don't think that way. And neither do I. But I just wonder, when I get back on the bike, would you get back on the bike? I don't know. What would your spouse say? What would your significant other say? I don't know, just something on my mind, because it seems to be, I guess this riding season is really here. Those things happen more often. Another reason to be vigilant, train, and pay attention and all that stuff, because people are crazy out here. That is for sure. So, all right, folks, if you leave some comments and let me know if you've had one of those experiences, what you think, and or do you just say, I don't know, dude, I don't know if I would or not, and I'm trying not to think about it, Bodine, so why the heck are you doing a video on it? But just came of mind while I was out on this beautiful day on some beautiful roads in the beautiful state of Michigan. All right, folks, be safe on and off the motorcycle. Appreciate you checking in the channel. And be safe, be vigilant, check on a friend. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.